just did a half hour on Comedy Central, and he's in my basketball league. Give it up for Ramon Rivas!
Hello, my name's Ramon Rivas. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I used to live out there with my sister because it was super duper free. It was a pretty dope arrangement. My sister has 3 kids. I like most of them. My youngest nephew is a little bit of a weirdo. Like, he walked in on me. I was playing a basketball game on my PlayStation one day. He was like, I don't understand why you play this game so much. I was like, oh, it's because I'm not athletic enough to play actual basketball. He's like, no, I get that part. He's like, I just don't understand, like, why do people play basketball? Like, what's the point of a game of basketball? And I was like, oh, well, you score more points than the other team and you win. And he's like, well, why do people want to win? What's the point of winning? And I was like, I think it has something to do with their dads. I had to, like, guess. And I was like, you don't want to play any sports, man? He was like, nah. I was like, why not? He thought about it for a second. He was like, I guess I just don't like trying. I feel like if I was his dad, I would have had to say something. So I'm just this cool uncle. I was like, man, I don't like trying shit either sometimes. He doesn't like one-on-one situations. That same day I had picked, it was just me and him. And I was like, you want to go get some ice cream or some food? He's like, we'll just wait for the other 2. And I was like, well, why can't we just go now? It'll just be me and you, and then we'll come get them and do something else. He's like, I don't like one-on-one situations. And I was like, what? He was like, I don't like the pressure to have to talk of a one-on-one situation. He's like, when there's more than 2 people, I have time to think about what I want to say. And I was like, but when there's more than 2 people, you never talk. He was like, that's because I'm thinking. I cried the Tuesday night of the election, which is weird because I normally cry on Mondays. Messed my schedule up. I didn't cry for myself because I've been brown in America for a while, so I understand that a lot of people are just going to make assumptions of me based on the color of my skin. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's just weird. It happens within my own community. Like, I moved to a Hispanic neighborhood in LA. I went to the grocery store to get some lunch meat. I'm a big fan of sandwiches, so I had aspirations of developing a rapport with this deli worker that would lead to free meats down the line. So, I step my swag, I'm getting my charm on, and I walk up to the counter, and the lady just talks to me, just Spanish, and I was like, oh no. Because I don't speak Spanish, even though I look like I should speak all the Spanish. Like the kitchen Spanish and all this different Spanish I should speak. And so she was like, da-la-la-la. And I didn't know what she said, but I was like, turkey. I'll take that turkey. And then I could see she was disappointed in me. I was kind of disappointed in myself. And then she just gave me the wrong lunch meat. But that's just something I'm dealing with right now. And that's like an innocent version of it. Like, I used to work at this law firm. I worked in the mail room. I would pull files. I would make copies. I had to do the dishes, which was weird as the only Hispanic person in the building. I was like, did y'all add this? Because you're all definitely old enough to wash your own dishes. But that might just be me. But I didn't cry for myself, man. Like I said, I cried for my nephews and niece. They're Hispanic kids. They go to a predominantly white school, and even though they themselves I would describe them as American, they're lazy, they don't like going outside. You know, like that's pretty much every kid of any color these days. And, you know, I was concerned about him, you know, because I hear, you know, I texted my niece. I was like, hey, how's school? How are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just sad and confused. She's like, a lot of kids in school are upset. Some were crying, so the teachers let us have our own election to voice our opinions. And I was like, that's really cool. And she was like, yeah, Trump still won. I was like, damn, I forgot hate trickles down. Which is sad because it's just like I hear horror stories. Like one of my friends told me her friend's 10-year-old kid came home and went to his mom and was like, Mom, everyone says I'm gonna grow up to be a rapist. What does that mean? And this mom had to explain collegiate sports to this 10-year-old kid. Which is, you wanna wait a couple years for that, you know? And it's sad because, like, I don't want to assume. I'm not mad at people that voted for Trump. Like, you know, a lot of people put finances first, which is fine. I put humanity a little higher. That's just me. But it's like, you know, just try to pay attention. And like, he appointed this dude, Steve Bannon, to White House strategist. And he's proudly alt-right. I don't really know what that means. So I went to an NPR interview, which is white people Google. And I listened to an interview with the dude who coined the phrase alt-right, like he founded the term. And that dude is hopeful this administration does away with illegal immigration and legal immigration, which is worse, because then they're here forever, and their kids are here forever. And he's hopeful that there's a white ethno-state achieved through peaceful ethnic cleansing, which is like, oh shit, they make that? I didn't know that was possible, you know? And I don't know, I'm just trying to stay abreast of shit and read. I read this interview Trump did with the New York Times. They transcribed all of it. And they were asking about a conflict of interest that they were like, you called the leaders in Europe of Brexit and talked to them about saying no to wind farms because they're gonna interfere with your golf course view. And he was like, well, you have to understand the wind is a very deceiving thing. And I was like, oh shit, this dude's about to go in on the wind. And like he started talking about like, he's like, these windmills put chemicals into the air and no matter where they're made, because they're made out of metal, he's like, and they don't work without subsidies and they're killing our birds. He's like, there's a type of eagle that you can only kill 31 a year. You gotta get a permit from them. These windmills are just killing them willy-nilly. And he ended it with, I don't care about anything that doesn't have to do with anything that doesn't have to do with the United States of America. And I finished reading that part and I was like, damn, I gotta go get a bird suit just so the president will care about me in a way that is cool for him. And I don't know a lot about Republicans. Like everything I know about them, I learned from the ones that laid my dad off when I was a kid. It's not like a ton of like information. I know that they recently voted to defund Planned Parenthood, which is crazy because people hate pulling out. You could have left that alone. And then like a big reason they voted to defund it is there's these rumors going around that Planned Parenthood was selling baby parts, which sounds creepy and expensive. Like it would be so expensive, the only people who could afford to buy them would be creepy Republicans, you know? Be like an old dude like, yeah, hey, Planned Parenthood, I just bought this baby arm, it's not making my dick look any bigger, what's going on? Take away your fucking. Then the timing was weird, because like Republicans voted to defund Planned Parenthood, and then like a week later, ISIS closed like all the women's clinics overseas. And no one in the Republican Party really gave a damn. And it's crazy when you start looking at it like homophobia, transphobia, and women's rights, like ISIS and Republicans have like the same platform. Which is hard for people to wrap their mind around, so figure out a good analogy. Imagine you go to a party, you had a dope-ass outfit on, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm about to crush it at this party, son. And then you get there, and there's someone in the same outfit as you, and they just murdered a whole bunch of people. You should probably change, you know? All right, my name's Ramon.
Ramon Rivas, everybody.